24 hours, 12 hours?
Chief Miller's called in mandatory overtime, so since basically the fire started at everybody, I think overall we've maybe had 3 personnel off at a time due to like doctor's appointments, or they're trying to get child care arranged, stuff like that, especially with the large evacuation areas. But everybody's been here.
Since on-duty guys.
Nonstop. And then when you're on duty, you come back. That Thursday night we worked till midnight, and we came back and covered the district.
Wow.
And that's for everybody that's on that shift. So when we're out there working, we come back, you're still on shift. So we just kind of switch hats and get back into the structure side of things and the EMS side of stuff. So.
Is it possible to get as much rest as you would want? I mean,
we came from the wall of fire, and I'm about wore out right now. But, there's a lot of I'm sure like when it starts dying down, it'll kind of probably catch up. But I said like you go out there and it's there's been plenty of stuff to do. So, but anytime you sit down, it kind of catches up with you. But all the captains and stuff have been, as soon as we have downtime, they've like, hey, you guys, take your break because they didn't know where we were going again.
Yeah,
so
guys have slept on the side of Miller Canyon Road just to try to get an hour of sleep wherever we can grab it. But basically, a steady stream of caffeine, sugar, and food is what everybody's. And the community's been great as far as making sure we're fed, wanting to help out. So, that's helped too.
Yeah.
You don't worry about corralling the fire as much as saving structures. You're going around, you do what you can, and the fire's gonna go out sometime. And once you start getting around, and if you can find a spot to pinch it off like they did, they had dozer line and Hereford and stuff like that, then you can stop it from getting exposed to other structures. But for the most part, you just if the fire starts here, stops here, and goes over here, and there's roads, you're trying to tie it in, but it's usually safe structures. They call it point source protection at that point.
Especially on the local resource side, we kind of consider ourselves the local resources, and then it's
the local guys.
Yeah, we're just basically the local guys between basically the 4 agencies, and then I know Chief Miller and them had activated the county-wide mutual aid, but for the most part at the beginning it was kind of just Fry, Sierra Vista, the local U.S. Forest Service guys, and then BLM. That went really well because we've all worked together so much. A lot of us grew up together, friends off duty, stuff like that. But Chief Miller's done an excellent job of keeping communications. But no matter how well you have a plan in place for communications, once that happens and there's such a large fire front, it just communications are probably one of the first things that break down. But through training and everything like that, guys kind of know what to do. So guys just go and you can rely on guys to do the job they were trained to do. So.
This definitely ran a lot smoother from it's jumped 3 different times, and you can tell from the first time learned some lessons. The second time was a little more dialed in, and this last time it actually ran as well as it could have been.
I remember when they started evacuating, in every evacuation plan and in every pre-evacuation plan, all of us would say,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no way. I live by basically in Sierra Reserve, and my wife calls and says, well, do we need to evacuate? No way. There's no way it's getting there. And during the fire yesterday, when I was at Ramsey and Campobello, I called her and said, leave. I don't want to have to worry about you guys being there. And it's just, I never thought it would get this far. I really didn't,
Usually what it is, you'll see when you see the smoke build up, and when that smoke builds up and it's really dark, it's all heat, and you're getting all the leaves and anything hot that's coming off of that is getting caught up in all that, they call it a column. And then when that column gets right across and it hits the road and it starts laying over the road, it's taking all that heat over. So a lot of it starts off of the hotter it is, the heavier, the bigger stuff it'll carry. And when it hits, usually it's like it'll knock your heart off. I mean, it's got it's it'll generate, I don't want to say its own wind, but it's got a lot of energy with that. And when it hits, when it gets up to the road, and it hits, and it lays over the road, and it throws all the embers over, and it's just like taking a bunch of matches out there and just flicking it, and you get a bunch of little spot fires that just grow together and they're gone.
Okay.
And that grass fire, I mean, it was standing. They'll say, the flames, when they'll lay across the road. I don't know if it ever laid across 92, but when there's that much heat across it and starts throwing, stuff that's burning material over, that's spots across the road, and some of the places it just, the fire flat out will lay across the road and start the other side. So I mean, that's the whole point of, you got the road and you burn out and you make that road, quarter mile long, I guess, or wide is the way to put it.
I actually heard guys say, "Man, Ricardo's burnt down. I love their food. I love Mexican food." And a couple of guys would go to Nick's. They had the bike night and stuff like that, and they would go there every now and then. And it's just, we didn't want to lose any more stuff. We, after the Ash Canyon and Stump, we just said, that's it. We're not losing any. We don't want to lose anything. Period. And
There's guys that have grown up around here fighting the fire, and when like Nick's and stuff like that, like their hangout, and tears in their eyes, like, man, I can't believe this is happening here.